Hello viewers and welcome to the Action Figuratorium. My name is Mark Major. I am a real big toy collector here, also a old school marketing guy hunkered down in Portland, Oregon. And today we're going to be looking at a Kickstarter for some action figures that is being put on by another Portlander. This is Brian Burke's Ashen Oath campaign, and this is a perfect time to remind people that you can get, that's right, Keep Portland Away From Me stickers in my Etsy shop, or visit the gift shop below, links below to Magic Ponyland. Why not get the shirt? Why not get the shirt, people? So we're going to be looking at Ashen Oath. This is Brian's action figure 1/12 fantasy line that I believe celebrates the Death Knight class in the Dungeons & Dragons game. Should be pretty exciting, so everybody come together, strap on the leather, and of course hold on tight. Did I mention these in the gift shop? Okay, we need to make sure they get mentioned. Let's go check out this campaign, shall we? So let's switch to desktop view. Moving over. Here we go. Ashen Oath. Let's start off, shall we? Let's listen to the video pitch. The video pitch. Here we go. Going in.
Hello everyone, my name is Brian Burke. I am
That's
the
Brian.
artist and producer of Ashen Oath. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. What this means is that we're live on Kickstarter, so that's super exciting.
I want that. I just want to pause it. So first of all, black hoodie absorbs so much light. You have to really overlight this shot. I would have picked a different garment, but here we go. It's cool to wear black. I'm wearing black myself.
I want to thank you guys also for all your social media support, all your likes, shares, and comments have meant a lot to me. I read them all, and they truly do mean a lot to me. So keep them coming. I love it.
I haven't written one yet.
So much. You know, the world of Ashen Oath is a dark, bleak place. It can be gritty. It can be messy. When you
It looks like 3 action figures so far.
These little glimmers of hope, they become beacons, and those beacons is a great contrast that brings a lot of passion to the space. So I'm really excited to bring that to you. I think
I'm excited to have it.
Love the characters and the lore even more. So real quick, really important note, the first 48 hours of Kickstarter is really important. It really sets the pace for the entire campaign. So if you're thinking about pledging, do so within that time frame. It'll really help a lot.
What really sets the pace is when like Big Bad Toy Store drops like 50 grand. That sets the pace.
Get us to our goals. We'll get you those figures into your hands. But without further ado, I want to present to you Ashen Oath.
All right, let's see it. A little bit of an intro. Okay, so some music's going to play, and I'm going to get a copyright strike. So what we're going to do, we're going to watch it, because this is his sales collateral. We're going to play one of my songs over it. All right, here we go. Promise greatness. All right, so Four Horsemen Studios is involved with this. We're going to talk about that because that figures into everything. I don't know who Eternal Fang is or what that quote is, but I'm accepting quotes. All right, we got kind of Ghoul Man. Rack focus on Skeletron, whatever, like this, Gold Skeleton Man, that's a cool sort of Donnie Darko mask. We got this, we got Vlad the Explorer, I like the Eddie Munster haircut, I do like the soft goods on this. I do like the look of the armor on these. I do like these going into the Death Knight realm. I do like the scary creepiness, undead hero factor. It's kind of a generic Owlman helmet. It's cool, I like that. I think that's a cool look. I think the armor's cool. I think his boutique sculpts are cool. why we have to rack focus every single shot. You could just put it in, you could show it to us focused. There's part of the creation process. Working on the helmets, on the skeletons. I believe he's got moving jaw. I like this, adding a little bit of skulls to your broadsword. Soul Drinker. There's always a sword called Soul Drinker in these shows. All right. Articulation of the jaw. Plenty cool. Now, I don't know about this shot, okay? I understand there's the need to, like, convince people that you're cool and they should spend money on you. I understand that. I'm out there every day trying to make a difference. I'm a little confused about this shot, though. I feel that this kind of... Unless this is like you want to be known for. Ashen Oath. Okay. I've had plenty of that. Had plenty of that. All right, let's look at these. Let's look at this campaign. Here we go. So there's a lot of text here. It's all worth reading. Lets you know exactly what's going on. I'd like to get to the figures. There's the exploded view with the articulation. Okay, we get to see some of the guys. Is this one of his original ones? That's might be coming, might not, or is this something else? Never seen this before, but this is one of his dudes. Basically, it's Death Knight, black with gray accents. Got a white skull with some sort of green eyes. Don't know what the green eyes mean. And then we got it next to a Frazetta Fire and Ice figure, probably Frazetta icons, but then again, don't know. There's so much of this stuff that's been there's really been a lot of Frazetta action figures coming out from a lot of different companies, a lot of different characters. Hard to keep track of right now. It's like there's a bit of a glut, but this is the figure compared to that. Here's the figure compared to Four Horsemen, and this, I think, is going to be where the majority of the Ashen Oath audience is coming from. People who collect Four Horsemen mythical figures, who have some skeletons and they're looking for some skeleton heroes, or just some variety, something to just sort of pad it out, fill it out, add something interesting to the collection of guys. Seems to fit quite well. Here's the same character with just their generic skeleton guy, not bad. Here's it with Savage Crucible. Can't say enough good things about Savage Crucible in passing since it's on the screen. Here's another one of these Conan the Barbarians. Don't know, is that the Mezco one? I don't know anymore. I can't tell. There's just so many of them. All right, so here's the figures, and he's charging 45 bucks. You get 3 pairs of extra hands. You get a broadsword. And there's another guy now. There's a couple things about this graphic here. The figure's called Resonant. The line is called the Mortem. These are from the Mortem. I would have put the Resonant kind of in the corner where it is now. The Mortem, I would have put some kind of a weird graphic behind it and put it somewhere up in the corner. And if you guys are ever interested in becoming designers of anything, basically anything involving graphic design, print design, and you think you might be getting into doing marketing materials for these Kickstarters or on any of your products, or you feel like designing the packaging, get this book. Get this book, people. I'll tell you what this book is all about. Non-Designer's Design Book. You get this. This will solve 80% of all your problems, including the one there, because what really needs to happen on this is the Mortem underneath here should be all stretched out so that it fits underneath the word Resonant, and then there isn't this little space hanging. Kind of like here, Wave 1, the Mortem song, fits exactly under Ashen Oath. That's all. Just saying these are little touches that could go a long ways to make your sales collateral, your marketing look that much better. So 45 bucks, same figure here, except it's black and gold accents, a little different sword. You get a cool helmet. Then you get this guy. He's kind of the sort of, I don't know if you ever saw the Excalibur movie that John Borman did in like 1980, 81-ish. This is kind of like King Arthur's illegitimate son, Mordred, who he goes to battle with. This is what I'm kind of reminded of. He's sort of maybe an undead prince. I feel like he's in the undead, but he still wears the armor. Then here's some all-in with stretch goals that haven't been unlocked. Then we see some of the unlocks at 230, 230, 230. 230 is basically you're going to get a bunch of stuff unlocked. Then we see some more figures. There's a $50 figure who's translucent, and there's a $35 figure who's unpainted. And more of this stuff, some links to demos, etc. Some nice shots of these guys. Let's look at the rewards. Okay, so basically what he's got for sale. What Brian Burke has here. Let's talk about what he's got for sale, exactly. So you can get this buck, this skeleton armor buck with skeleton head, $35 unpainted. Or you can get it painted two-tone black gray, $45. Or get the exact same thing painted black gold, $45. Or get the same buck, different head, human head, different color, white gold, $45. So you see it's the same figure 3 times, different heads, different swords, one guy different shoulders. You can get them translucent for $50. And then there's like a 3-pack, unpainted 3-pack, save some money. Now I would have done, for my unpainted pack, I would have did 4 for $100. It's only $10 more than 90, and you sell 1 extra figure. Yes, you make less per figure, but you sell more figures, and with minimum order quantity, you want to sell as many figures as possible. You're not worried if you're making an extra dollar here or there. You're just trying to get as many into the hands of people as you can for market share. And because you ordered that many and now you need to sell them, of course, there is a 3-pack of the guys who are painted, right? So basically, it's this blank, painted this scheme, or painted this scheme, or translucent. He basically has 3 characters for sale, 2 additional options of either unpainted or translucent extra. So there's technically 5 things you can buy here. There's really only 3 though, from what I'm seeing. There's these 3 guys for $45, right? So something else of interest, if you go to the add-ons here, there's an enamel pin. I don't see a photo of that anywhere. There's a signed poster for $20. Don't see a photo of that anywhere. Then there is one of those cheap rubber bracelets you get if you run like a marathon or something for $3. Don't see a photo of that. Those are all mistakes. Those are mistakes not showing photos, not letting people know that this is available. But having them is an excellent idea. In fact, not going far enough. Need more stuff. Not just one poster, multiple posters. Not just one sticker, sticker packs. Not just one sticker pack, sticker packs. Coloring books, collectible coins, hats, t-shirts, mugs, any kind of tchotchke you can think of that fits in with this. If you could do a cool keychain with a skull, sell it. Anything that fits in. If you've got a cloth map for your Ashen Oath world, sell it. If you've got a cool design for a shirt or a hat, sell it. And that is all stuff that you can get made here in the United States. You can get printed or published here, and you can ship it out immediately. If somebody just ordered your t-shirt, campaign closes, you figure out how many shirts you sold, you get those shirts made, you ship them out. The minute people bitch, where's my order? Here's your shirt, okay? That's all ways to pad out your campaign to get the numbers higher, get as much money in the door as possible. So here is the big question. Now, some of you guys know that, and let me throw it up real quick. So this is the best practices of crowdfunding. This is the top 3. There's actual several best practices. The ones that I preach the most are these: 3-tier pricing, standard, deluxe, luxury, wide variety of stuff. Everything needs to be on your page as far as the sales collateral goes, okay? So, what does this guy have? He has got lots of deluxes. He's basically got kind of 5 deluxe figures, right? 35 to $50 in there. That's a deluxe figure. He's got no standard figures. He's got nothing for $20. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking like, well, you can't sell these for $20. No shit. What you're supposed to do, no kidding. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to design and engineer something into that category. You offer like a skeleton warrior guy, fodder guy, a satellite figure, a generic foot soldier in armor to go with your Death Knights for 20, 25 bucks, and maybe they only have 11 points of articulation. Maybe they have no paint deco. They're just flat black. Maybe they don't come with any extra hands. Maybe they only come with a single weapon or something, and it's the same weapon over and over and over again, etc. You need to design something to go into that category. You don't just take your existing stuff trying to sell and say, well, maybe I can make it work. No, you need to, before you even launch a campaign, what you're going to make, you need to make a standard figure that's cheap, everyone can buy. Preferably have a lot of standard figures, but I get it. The variety in this case is on these deluxe figures. So really what this campaign is about, this is about a excellent, high-level, high-quality designer who has designed, and let's be honest, these are really kind of boutique, high-end, intricate, complex, interesting, very interesting action figures, right? But I don't see this as a line. I only see this as a I only see this as people who love like fantasy figures who want to get a couple of nice sort of high-end, good-looking, cool bad guy villain dudes. I don't see this being like the launch of a new series, a new set of characters, a new realm, a new anything like that. I just see this as a few really good-looking, really well-designed boutique figures. What you're paying for is not necessarily in, I don't want to say it's about the quality of the materials or about the articulation or about the paint or anything with the manufacturing. It's really about the design. You're paying for the design. You're paying for Brian Burke. This is money for Brian Burke here, these designs. And the reason why you get into these is because you want to get some of Brian Burke's designs because you think they're cool and they'll go with your other figures. But without seeing like a luxury item, a standard item, and a bit more variety, then this is just $1, and they got to get to 150,000 for this to launch. I would have expected for $1 about 100,000, but they must be smart and know that it's going to take an extra $50,000 on top of this to make it run, right? So they're at 53,000. If you go to calculator and you look at 150,000 divided by 45, which is the cost of one of his figures, he needs to sell 3,333 of these. That's a lot of threes. So is that possible? Is it possible to sell that many of this figure? I get out of the gate, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that that number is too high. However, it could happen. It could limp across the line at the last minute. You could get a sugar daddy who throws down. You could get a big bad toy store or somebody equivalent to that, Entertainment Earth. I don't know who's buying these in the retail space, but it's definitely a possibility that you could sell this many with a sugar daddy. But as far as people that are out there buying these fantasy things, I don't know. To get to, you know, how many is he? He's got 251 backers. That's at least 251 of these. You're going to need 10 times that. You're going to need 10 times that. You're going to have to get to 2,510 backers. You know what I mean? So another thing that we have to mention is the Mythic Legions RPG game, which is actually just an action figure Kickstarter with an RPG game stapled onto the back of it. Nobody wants the game. The game is crap. The game has not been designed by game designers. It's been designed by some Four Horsemen employees in their spare time. Nobody wants the game, but everybody wants the figures, including me. I'm only here for the figures. Game looks like crap. And these guys have managed to hit $921,000 with 10 days left to go. That means they are taking all of Brian's oxygen. They have sucked out all of the money from the ecosystem in disposable income that could go to Ashen Oath. It has been sucked out of the room before he even launched by these guys, which is interesting to note, because if you look at his let's see, where is it? Somewhere in here. Here we go. He has partnered with the seasoned and industry veterans Four Horsemen Studios, $921,000, to manage Ashen Oath Productions. So he's doing all the designs. They're the guys, probably Chris Garwich, they're the guys who are, and Four Horsemen probably said to Chris, look, you can work with these indie companies, but do it on company time and charge them. So he's working with Four Horsemen, Chris Garwich, to get these made in the Four Horsemen's factory, which means if this does fund, it will happen. You will get these. You will not be abandoned on this. This is a safe bet. If you really want these, put some money down for them. You will get them. But what this means is that Ashen Oath, which does compete with Four Horsemen, competes for market share, competes for dollars in people's pocketbooks for fantasy action figures, 100%, absolutely competes. These guys are now getting a piece of his action. So the more he sells, the more money they make. They are taking all of the money out of the room, including his room now. They are actually siphoning money. His competitors, Brian's competitors, are siphoning money off of this campaign to the Four Horsemen's Iron Bank, people. That is who the big winner in all of this is. It is the Four Horsemen, right? So just a lot to think about. I don't know what else I can say other than the fact that I do like the way these guys look, because I like the Death Knight character. I like the idea of having a cool bad guy. I think the gold guy with the helmet is particularly cool. Love to have one of these guys. Would love to see one in person. I wish Brian the best of luck with this, believe it or not. I wish this would fund. I wish these would get made. I wish we could have more fantasy figures. I wish we could have more obscure indie lines, and that this goes well, he can go forward and do even more cool figures. Best case scenario is that somehow a big sugar daddy comes in and buys a few thousand of these to help get them halfway there, and then maybe some Mythic Legions lovers will be sympathetic and buy one and get him all the way there, and that maybe Four Horsemen will just buy this line off of him, incorporate it into their own offerings, and just take him on as a designer. And for all I know, maybe he's freelanced for the Four Horsemen. Maybe that's why he has this relationship. And maybe he's already technically kind of a partner ingrained with all this. And maybe they're going to actually, in the end, help him out, because who knows? He, again, they make money if he makes money. So that's all I can say. Would love to hear what other people think of this campaign. Do you think this is going to fund? Do you think it's going to fund right away? Let me just look and see what he needs again. He's at 53,000, needs 150,000. What do you guys think of Death Knights? Something you're going to buy? Or are you just going to wait for Big Bad Toy Store to get them? That's probably what I might do. Anyways, I look forward to reading all the comments on this. And you know what, people? Like, subscribe, comment, etc. Your own time, our time. Stay charged, people.